Hey, Christian and the Timber Taste team. My name is Daryl Vanderpool. I'm the owner and founder of Wepa Marketing, an Amazon marketing studio, and I'm going to go ahead and audit your listing based on the request that you sent over. What I'll be covering today is going to look through your images, your product title, product descriptions, and then just double checking on any standard SEO optimizations, as well as just some major callouts. And I'll also follow this up with a deck that I'll send over to that just gives you a little more about what we do and some of the market share metrics and how your brand compares. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. All right. So right now I have your Amazon listing open, and we'll just go ahead and do a top to bottom kind of audit. I'm going to use my tool Helium 10 that gives me a report card. So right off the bat, I do see that we have a 10. So that comes to show me that you have all of the required things needed to be able to be ranking. So what the algorithm checks for looks like you're checking the boxes. That tells us that it's the actual content on your product detail page that is going to need some more work. So when I scroll down to your title, I do see that you still have Christmas in your title. That needs to be removed. You want to make sure that you're updating your content once every quarter. That way it's reflecting any holidays or any seasonality that might be affecting your product listing. So for Christmas, this was a great product to launch because Christmas gifting, a small sample pack, amazing. Going further down, like I said, we'll do a top to bottom review. Your product detail or your product images, they do seem high quality. The thing that I noticed when I looked at your product initially is that they don't add any value. And what I mean by that is you want to make sure that your product images are highlighting the taste for you, for your CPG brand. So you want to highlight the taste, the ingredients, why your product is better and stands out versus all of the other products that are on Amazon. So for this main image, I would make these bottles bigger. I would mention that it's a 5-pack. Hot chili sauce, I might switch this to be hot sauce just to test out. You can do A/B testing in either PickFu or Amazon does have A/B testing you can run for a few weeks to see what's going to lead to better conversion. Here, obviously, when you have a CPG brand, you want to have the ingredients. This is fine. If you can find a way to make this a little more legible, that way people don't have to zoom in as much. Or on the other images, if you highlight some of the things that are important for the product. So like we have 0 calories on all 5 of the products. That's a highlight that you definitely want to mention. 0 calories, low fat, all that fun stuff. Like anything that's going to drive people to educate them and want to purchase your product is what you want to have. And then again, over here, just I'm going to go through these images. All of these can be updated. Again, highlight the flavors. I see you have the different flavors here. I would go ahead and split this into 2 different images, have the most popular 2 flavors in their own images together with the product descriptions, and then maybe add some imagery of the ingredients that are in there. And then the other 3, same thing, have the 3 of them there, small bullet point descriptions, and then maybe some ingredients thrown in there. So that's what I would do for here. That would give you 2 extra images. Love a customer testimonial. There's a lot of dead space here. So what I would do is I would make this bigger, make the product bigger here, highlight this and just make that more legible. The Scoville scale, love that you have this here. Your target audience is probably familiar with hot ones, which means having that added note is going to help them understand kind of what they're working with. So I do know that you have 5 different levels of spice. I would recommend adding the Scoville scale spice level to each of those in an image. And then you did have a couple images talking about the packaging. You only need 1. I know this is a gift set, so you do want to highlight the quality that it's ready to gift. I think this image does a really good job just showing that the packaging is ready to gift immediately. This one doesn't really add that much value. You do have it that the chili guide is included. I would go ahead and just have this say this is included here. This image doesn't let me know that it's included, so if I didn't really read the text here and looked at this, I'd be like, oh, what is this? So that's something to update on your images. And scrolling down every 5 bullets, I would make a space between these emojis. I actually would get rid of them completely just because it does affect indexing at times. And then going through your brand story, great that you have a brand story, which is going to help a lot. You can also index for the alt text that are in your brand story and your A+ content. Going through, here's another opportunity for you to showcase your other products. So if you have different product collections like spices, sauces, multi-packs, like you want to go ahead and make different collections. That way people can understand all of your offerings and be able to get to your different products from any one of your pages. This will help increase your average order volume and also help the customers kind of stay within your portfolio to see what else they might be interested in. The only thing that I would double check on your A+ content, you do have it here, which is great. I would again highlight the flavors and what makes your product stand out compared to the others. And then double check to make sure that there are alt text There's alt text behind these images. These images do index, which means it does help your ranking. So if there's any terms that, maybe are misspelled, but people are searching the misspelled term, if you were to take hot sauce and make it a compound word, things like that. Also, if you have any terms that we couldn't fit in your product detail page, like your descriptions, your bullet points, or the title, that's an opportunity for you to go ahead and put those high volume terms into your alt text. That way the algorithm can pick that up. So that's just a quick once over, and you do have video here, which is also another plus. So now let's get into kind of what is going to help drive your product and your traffic and your sales. So looking at your keyword distribution, what I did is I used my tool Helium 10, have your ACE in here. You have sales against 3,200 terms. So you are ranking for 3,200 terms, or at least in the last 30 days, your products has converted with these terms in some way, shape, or form. Looking at your split, there are 2,700 paid and 1,300, almost 1,400 organic. We like to have a 2-to-1 ratio. So for every 2 organic terms, you have 1 paid term, or vice versa. For every 1 paid term, you have 2 organic terms. This helps make sure that you're not spending too much money on driving traffic, and you're letting the algorithm and your organic content really drive your organic ranking. This is going to help you be more profitable and also have you not rely so much on your investment into Amazon. But looking here, I highlighted seven terms that kind of are more relevant for you. So hot sauce, your organic rank is 277. We want to be at least in the first 100 and then again in the first 50. Your sponsored rank, kind of the same thing. So if you want to be in your first 50 in your sponsored ranks, some improvement to do here. Looks like, these first few words, you only have 5 sponsored placements and 1 organic placement. And then scrolling down, some of these other terms are all branded terms for the most part, which shows us that customers are searching branded terms for hot sauces. So you want to make sure that you're incorporating your competitor targeting within your ad strategy, which it does look like you have here based on the sponsored rank for some of these. Now, something that would help you is I went ahead and looked at the hot sauce category in total, just for us to see exactly what the opportunity is in this category. So when I analyze the products that show up for hot sauce, we see that there is a $4.4 million market when it comes to hot sauce alone. So you're missing out on huge opportunity in the market, knowing that your brand isn't really even showing up in the first page of search for hot sauce. So that's something that you're missing, because this is only the page 1 results. All 50 of the products that are resulting in page 1, we're looking at that right there. And the average revenue driver is 7,200. So or 72,000. So when you're thinking about it, the average revenue that any of these products are driving or any of these brands are driving is 72K. Definitely some opportunity for us to capture here. Now let's take a look. I pulled some of your competitors just to better understand kind of what we're working with. So if you see here, they do mention pepper sauce, hot sauce, extra hot, and mentions the flavors. This is a great example of what you should be doing in your title. You want to make sure that you have the different variations that a person's looking for. And also, if you do have multiple flavors to fill in that space, you can go ahead and mention the peppers or the flavors in the title if you have enough space to do that. Right? So see here, they have some of the ingredients and talk on the flavor. So that's kind of what I mentioned earlier. And then they do have a representation of the box that it comes in. But you just want to make sure you're highlighting the important things of your product. And if you were to take a look at their keyword distribution, this is a little more in lines of what you would want. So they have 916 paid search terms and 1,400 organic search terms. So like they're pretty close to that 2-to-1 ratio that I mentioned, which is 2 organic to 1 paid. And then when we look at their ranking, so if I go to hot sauce, they're ranking number 2 in sponsored rank and number 65 overall. So again, a lot better than what you're doing with your product. So you just want to make sure that we're capturing some of these terms. Something else that I noticed in the search terms as hot ones is mentioned a lot. I know that is a trademark term, so you can play around with some kind of like the challenges. You can do like a hot sauce challenge or something like that in your copy, because hot ones and hot sauce challenges is something that I did see when I was doing some of the product research here for you. And then I wanted to go ahead and also give you a POV on what a hot sauce variety pack market looks like, because it's more close to the subcategory of your product. So this market alone is almost $2 million in sales in the last 30 days. So what this shows us is that even specifically within your niche, you have a huge chunk of the market. Almost a quarter of the market is variety packs, or at least customers searching for variety pack. And as you can see here, again, the average revenue for variety packs is 33K. So again, huge opportunity for you to utilize more of your organic actions that you need to take on your product detail page. And again, I did it for the Cholula sample pack because that one was trending across some different search terms that I did. they have a little different of a strategy, but they probably have a little more of a budget to kind of play around with. So they have more of a 50-50 split, which really just shows us that they're investing a lot to drive a lot of traffic to their product, which then is going to generate some sales. So hopefully this helps you kind of understand better what you can do to your product. So I would definitely go ahead and update your images to make sure that they are reflecting the important things of your product, the flavors, the ingredients, the spiciness, all of those things I would incorporate in your images. I would also look at your search terms and go ahead and apply some of those high volume search terms in your title, your bullet points, and your images, both above the fold and A+ content and brand story, because all of those areas are going to help reinforce what customers are looking for. Like I said, I'll go ahead and send you a deck after this that kind of gives you a little more details on exactly what we look at and what we can do for you. Hopefully this helps, and hopefully we'll talk to you soon.